Today, we dive into a topic that holds sway over millions of Kenyans: Mitumba. The second-hand clothing industry is both loved and criticized in equal measure. But what exactly is Mitumba? And why has it become such a significant part of Kenya's textile landscape? Mitumba, a Swahili word meaning bundles, refers to imported second-hand clothing, footwear and accessories primarily from Europe and North America. After the collapse of Kenya's cotton industry in the 1980s and 1990s, Mitumba filled a gap, offering affordable fashion alternatives to Kenyans across economic classes. The roots of Mitumba trace back to the Structural Adjustment Programs, SAPs, of the 1980s, which encouraged the importation of second-hand clothing as local industries struggled under economic reforms. The demand for low-cost clothing rose as Kenyans adapted to tighter budgets, and Mitumba answered the call. But what impact does Mitumba have? On the surface, it seems beneficial: affordable clothing, income for vendors, and reduced waste. Yet Mitumba has had dire consequences for Kenya's local textile industry. Mitumba's affordability directly competes with locally produced textiles, often priced much higher. The price gap has made it difficult for Kenyan textile factories to survive and for emerging designers to gain traction. Job losses. Since the Mitumba boom, factories have downsized or closed altogether, leading to job losses across the country. Today, thousands of skilled Kenyans struggle to find work in what was once a thriving industry. Economic disincentive. The second-hand market discourages investment in Kenya's textile sector. Investors are wary of competing with an industry that imports millions of clothing pieces yearly at drastically lower prices. Mitumba not only affect the economy but also carry significant environmental concerns. Waste and pollution. Each year, millions of Mitumba items deemed unsellable or unusable end up in landfills or are burned, releasing toxic chemicals into the environment. Carbon footprint. The global shipment of Mitumba items adds to Kenya's carbon footprint, as these goods are transported across continents before reaching local markets. Health risks. Mitumba clothes, shoes, and accessories sometimes come with risk. Skin infections, allergic reactions, and even parasite exposure are common issues when items aren't properly sanitized. Though profitable for many, the Mitumba business is not without challenges. Quality control. Mitumba items vary in quality, with some pieces heavily worn or defective. Sellers often take a gamble with every bale purchase. Stigma. There is still a stigma attached to wearing second-hand clothes, with some people associating Mitumba with poverty or lack of hygiene. Inconsistent supply and legal issues. Import laws are complex and supply can be unpredictable. Vendors often face high custom fees, taxes, and fluctuating bale prices. Given these issues, how can Kenya revive its textile industry without undermining the livelihoods of those who depend on Mitumba? Investment in local textile production. With government support, the textile industry can see a revival by investing in modernized factories, advanced technology, and skilled labor. Public-private partnerships could fund these improvements. Subsidies and tariffs. Implementing tariffs on imported second-hand clothing and offering subsidies to local manufacturers could give the textile industry the boost it needs to compete with Mitumba. Environmental initiatives. Regulations on textile waste management and recycling can help manage environmental impact, creating a more sustainable industry. Supporting local fashion and innovation. Encouraging innovation in Kenyan fashion can create a unique demand for locally made clothes. Through initiatives like the Buy Kenya, Build Kenya program, the country can promote its designers. Balancing the future of Mitumba and local production. If the local industry thrives, will Mitumba be phased out? Not necessarily. Instead, the goal is to strike a balance where Mitumba and locally produced goods can exist. Transition programs for Mitumba vendors. The government can introduce training programs to help Mitumba vendors transition to selling locally made goods, ensuring they maintain their livelihoods. Sustainable imports. By regulating the types of second-hand items imported, Kenya can reduce waste while allowing affordable imports for those in need. Mitumba has become a complex part of Kenya's economy, offering affordable fashion while challenging local production. With mindful policies, environmental consciousness, and support for local innovation, Kenya's textile industry can thrive. The road ahead involves not eliminating Mitumba, but creating a sustainable balance where both industries can benefit Kenyans. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive in Mitumba and Kenya's textile future. Remember to like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments, what do you think about Kenya's Mitumba industry?